Hello and welcome to the Metro News on Ray Power 100.5 FM. I am Kedenojo Okoliko. The African Democratic Congress, the ADC, has accused the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, of deliberately creating administrative obstacles to stop the party from fielding candidates in the 2027 general elections. In a statement by its National Secretary, BOLAJI ABDULLAHI, the Public Secretary said, INEC's decision to stop receiving correspondence from the party pending a court ruling conflicts with provisions of the Electoral Act 2006, which sets strict timelines for political parties. The party described the move as dangerous, warning it could prevent it from meeting key requirements such as the mandatory 21-day notice and submission deadlines. ADC says its claims are backed by documentary evidence, including certified INEC records and reports, and insists the situation appears designed to exclude it from the upcoming elections. Away from that now, the Catholic Archbishop of Abuja, Ignatius Kaigama, has called for collective action to support Nigeria's poor and vulnerable. Kaigama made the call during a visit to the Dagba internally displaced persons camp as part of Easter celebration organized by the Justice, Development and Peace Commission. The Archbishop's presence brought renewed hope to residents of the camp. The outreach to the camp is a collaborative effort involving the Justice, Development and Peace Commission, a key social arm of the church, alongside other humanitarian partners committed to supporting displaced persons.
These children you see that have received food just now, some were born here, they don't know where they came from because they have never been there. They don't belong here because they don't have a home here. So we must join hands to bring succor to them.
Whatever you have, share. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little is enough. Share with your neighbor.
He urged both individuals and government authorities to prioritize the welfare of the poor and vulnerable.
Let them come to us and ask us, how do you do it? We go to these people, we penetrate the inner places where they are living, and we know their pains and struggles. Let them come and ask us, or allow us to go and meet them and ask how we can collaborate.
Which is 98% of food we eat comes from individuals. 98% of clothes comes from individuals. And today, for 8 years, no IDP is welcome in any hospital in Abuja.
Kaigama reminds Nigerians that the celebration should be reflected in acts of compassion, unity, and a renewed commitment to uplifting the most vulnerable in the society. The leader of the Senate, Opeyemi Bamidele, has stated that the provisions of the 2026 Electoral Act were the outcome of the broad consultations with stakeholders and not imposed by the National Assembly, as alleged by some opposition leaders. Bamidele, who also served on the Senate Committee on Electoral Matters, explained that the new electoral framework reflects global democratic standards and was not designed to advance any self-serving political agenda. Our correspondent, Oyedia Orom, has more.
According to the Senate leader, Opeyemi Bamidele, some opposition parties have alleged that the National Assembly inserted Section 77, subsection 1 to 7 of the 2026 Electoral Act to frustrate their chances of defeating the ruling party in the 2027 general elections. According to him, they also criticize Section 84, subsection 1 to 3 of the Act, which restricts the procedure for nominating candidates for elective offices to either direct primaries or consensus. However, Bamidele dismissed the claims, insisting that every provision in the law was developed through consultations and agreement among stakeholders. He said the act emerged from consensus among political parties, civil society organizations, and development partners, adding that political actors should now focus on abiding by the rules rather than opposing them. The Senate leader also clarified the rationale behind limiting the nomination process for elective offices to direct primaries or consensus, explaining that the provision was introduced to curb the abuse associated with delegate system. Bamidele also condemned the recent armed attacks in part of Plateau State and Kaduna State, which reportedly claimed several lives. He noted that the National Assembly is working closely with both the federal and state government to address the security challenges and bring an end to such attacks on vulnerable communities.
The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission NIDCOM says 3 Nigerians who were stranded at a South African airport have been cleared and have departed the country. A statement by the commission points out that they were expected to arrive in Lagos earlier today. Consequently, the commission noted that many applicants are unable to defend the information provided when questioned during immigration interviews, resulting in the entry refusal. Air passengers will experience a delay in boarding as management of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, announces a temporary disruption, which states that it would affect flight operations at its domestic terminals. According to an operational update, the disruption will specifically impact baggage processing. It blamed the disruption on a technical glitch with baggage screening equipment within the terminal, which has slowed standard processing procedures. To minimize the disruption, the airport management said it has proactively activated alternative screening procedures using available equipment to ensure flights continue operation safely. And now you are listening to the Metro News, reaching you live on Raypower 100.5 FM. More stories after the break. Please stay with us.
As the news drops, it breaks with us. Join us for news on the hour every hour. News desk at 12 noon, Metro News at 4 p.m. Enjoy infotainment, breaking and sports news at their best 24/7.
This is Raypower FM News.
Thanks for staying with us. Now to the rest of the news. The war in the Middle East is causing fuel supply disruptions affecting countries like Zambia, thousands of kilometers away. Residents are feeling the impact with long queues for fuel and struggling businesses. Energy expert John Stone Chikwanda says 75% of African countries are affected with price hikes and availability concerns. The Zambian government has declared an emergency and approved measures to ease the crisis, including tax cuts on fuel imports for 3 months. Still on the foreign side, U.S. President Donald Trump has not signed off on a 45-day ceasefire proposal for the Strait of Hormuz, with Iran rejecting a temporary ceasefire and preparing a response to the U.S. demands. Trump has given Iran a Tuesday deadline to reopen the strait, warning to severe consequences if not met. Meanwhile, Israel has killed 2 senior Iranian officials and struck petrochemical complex in southwestern Iran, resulting in civilian casualties. Trump will hold a news conference today about the rescue of an F-15 crew member shot down over Iran.
And now, a business update from Raypower 100 FM. And now, a business update.
A new joint report by the African Union and the African Development Bank suggests some African economies could benefit from global shipping disruptions despite broader risk. Nigeria is expected to gain from higher oil prices and increased exports from the Dangote refinery, while Mozambique could benefit from liquefied natural gas (LNG) momentum and increased port of Maputo traffic. However, the ongoing Middle East conflict has pushed crude oil prices above $100 per barrel, threatening Africa's growth outlook. The report warns of significant downside risk, including a potential 0.2 percentage point decline in Africa's GDP growth if the conflict persists. To mitigate this risk, the report calls for immediate policy action to cushion household and stabilize fuel, food, and fertilizer supplies.
This is entertainment news on Raypower 100.5 FM. Hello and welcome to Entertainment News on Repower 100.5 FM. Pepsi and Diageo has pulled out of sponsoring a music festival in London, headlined by US rapper Kanye West, who has a history of anti-Semitic outbursts. The 48-year-old hip-hop star, now known as Ye, is due to play 3 nights at the Wireless Festival in London in July as part of a European comeback tour. However, a spokesperson for Pepsi, the festival's top sponsor, states that the brand has decided to withdraw its sponsorship of Wireless Festival without giving a reason. This decision follows Keir Starmer's statement about West's appearances. Nigerian actress Whitney Jern has publicly expressed heartbreak over an alleged betrayal involving a property she says she jointly acquired with her lover. Speaking out on the incident, the actress shared her emotional pain, recalling the trust and partnership they once had. Whitney disclosed that she spent 8 years with him and gave all she had to him, lamenting that she would have been more famous than this, but she trusted him and tried to build her life. That's it on entertainment. I am Onyemeche Adele.
Ray Power Sport.
And now on some sports news, Real Madrid coach Alvaro Abella reveals that Kylian Mbappe has joined the club to star in key matches like Tuesday's Champions League clash against Bayern Munich. Abella says Mbappe is a vital part of the team, although questions remain over whether the 15-time winners club can strike the right balance with all the biggest names on the pitch at the same time. French superstar Mbappe, the club's top goal scorer, did not start either game in the last 16 tie against Manchester City, which Madrid won impressively because of a long struggle with a knee sprain.
Ray Power Weather.
This evening, expect partly cloudy skies with thunderstorms over central and southern regions. The north will remain mostly dry with warm conditions. Temperatures will drop slightly nationwide with chances of light to moderate rainfall in affected areas. And to end the news, here is a last line. In the words of Steve Jobs, an American entrepreneur, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. That's it for the Metro News as produced by Ehi and Kelly Ocheme. I am Kedenojo Okoliko. Join us at 6 p.m. for our next bulletin, Nigeria Today, and then we'll bring you news from across the nation. Also, watch us live on YouTube at Raypa FM Abuja. Good evening.
Information and entertainment reloaded for today's Niger.
Ray Power. Ray Power.
Ray Power.
Ray Power. Ray Power.